Honestly, I'm fed up with the Maxi Salas situation. He hasn't even been introduced at River, but people are already complaining about it. We made a video yesterday with Diego Milito's statements and, well, analyzing a bit of what he said. It was kind of improvised. Here we have some statements to show you. Subscribe to the channel. I don't know what adjective to use for them because honestly they're making too much of a fuss. River ends up paying a lot for a footballer who wanted to come to River. He wasn't taken away from racing. The player also chooses where he wants to play, right? River didn't acquire him cheaply. We'll discuss this shortly. Good news. First, the transfer of Adam Barreiro to Fortaleza was confirmed. River practically recovers everything they invested in the Paraguayan. And also, the most important thing is that it frees up space. River is also working to try to sell or loan out Gonzalo Tapia and free up another spot. Will the spot be for Cepeda? Expect news this week. In fact, I'm told that River is trying to get a strong, well-known defensive midfielder and a forward. Even though they're kind of pretending they're not looking for a striker, I'm told that a defensive midfielder and a striker are going to join River. They're really racking their brains because everything is being kept totally secret about Máger Carrizo. When the journalists who talk about the transfer market started talking about the Vélez player, I said, is he going to bring in a kid who plays on the wing? Is it a project paying 10 or 11? Lucas Bueno something didn't sound right to me. Apparently River is going to form a partnership with Manchester City, with the City Group. And Máger Carrizo could come to River, but being acquired by Manchester City, I'm not sure if I like these kinds of deals, but maybe River will strengthen itself this way. Don't spend any more on Carrizo and use the money you have on a number 9, a number 5, and maybe a number 3, guys. With that said, let's see what we have ready. You'll see a bit of everything and we'll have time to talk.
You're going to regret it as time goes by. You're going to regret it when all this is over and you want to go back. Maybe for Salas, it will be too late to win back the affection and love of the racing fans. But the only thing the fans ever asked of you was honesty. What can't be understood is the deceit, the lies, and the silence. Today there is no cure for the heart of a racing fan.
There's more. First, there's a pact. We say, hey, there's a pact. I shout and they say, no, what pact? There's no pact. And Milito said, there's a pact. Yes, there's a pact. There's a pact. He said it was respected and that they keep their word. I told them why there's a pact, because they don't want the smaller clubs to be devoured. Equal. To me, it makes sense. Fuente Grande is the heavyweight. The pact is because of that.
They are going to dedicate it to
the candidate.
For president, who could be the next president, it's a possibility.
The speaker was unaware that the minister was angry with River, who is shaken by the incident. The sentence is incomplete, so the reason for River's distress is unclear.
You're being hypocritical, talking about a pact before anyone else, despite the hypocrisy that will surround you after noticing me here.
He called us hypocrites. Are you going to do something about it, my friend?
Oh. Listen, do you know what he does to defend himself? He attacks me? No, because I know him. And he's going to say it's because the Argentine Football Association wants to protect the clubs because of this wonderful league. Milito said it. No, he's been saying that they devoured the kids. Everything goes downhill from here. He refuses to be Dole's lawyer as he doesn't need it. Argentine football simply drags everything down. I want to tell you that what Milito did was ugly. He also said in these exact words that we're reviewing, that when the end of the year came, they executed the renewal clause for Salas. And that renewal clause for Salas. For Sarah, it left him with a very low contract. Very low, but stipulated. But they didn't take it away from anyone. And this was also stipulated. The same clause that Raffin executed. Here, what River broke was the pact that the managers had. And now are they going to break Quintero's too? Will they also break Quintero's now? Surely that too, but well, that's Quintero's issue. A broken and pointed out pact. The same kind of pact that the managers break when they say behind your back, hey, put me into play. In the case of López Muñoz.
El caso de López Muñoz, que acaba de contar.
Which is racing.
Racing's protagonist, who criticizes current practices, revealed that López Muñoz was questioned about signing with Argentinos, asking, did you sign? No? Well, hold on, man. Is it the same or worse? No, but let's see. We are
getting confused. I'm talking about outrage.
Indignación.
López Muñoz was playing in Argentine style. That's what I don't understand.
Lopez Munoz was playing for and about to renew with Argentino, where he had performed remarkably well in Argentina.
Gallardo told him there are better chances in the Libertadores with Salas than without. So he bought a player, but not at any price.
No se puede a cualquier precio. Because if there's a pact here, it has to be respected. Morality and hypocrisy in Argentine football. The hypocrisy is wonderful, the morality, and I'm being fair. Just like when there are clubs that used to laugh, you know what? Sign it. There's no more word here. Sign things. This one has a camera. Not everything is a lie. It's confusing why Milito, known for keeping his word, broke his promise to Salas.
And if you look back, there are 1,000 cases.
Like that,
I think there's forced outrage. That it's not genuine, that it's not real. If Costas himself tells you in a press conference, he says, I call them boys, I do it.
They're here from Boca Radia, Arevalo. All the guys, including Monroy.
They say no because...
San Lorenzo doesn't pay them. It's a San Lorenzo issue.
Guys, but there's a difference. No.
No, let me finish. Silvio Romero, they owe him money. I'm more independent, so why are you getting involved? But that's what gets to the player and makes him want to leave. Otherwise, the player wouldn't leave. Otherwise, the player wouldn't leave. Salas, I want to explain something to you. You don't have to explain anything to me, my dear, because I know the subject better than anyone. Don't explain anything to me. Hypocrite.
Salas.
Why is the Argentine Football Association president getting involved in this matter? You seem to disapprove of their involvement, saying, no, now this guy's getting involved. I'm going to try to solve it another way. And River said,
I'm the same. It's just that Brito is already all in, Gustavo.
In the presidency? Still, clubs can't be weighed down. Many love being part of the Argentine Football Association. But there are other clubs that still have greatness, that still have autonomy, and that can decide based on what they believe. Still, let me tell you something. I think Tapia got involved, not so River wouldn't buy him and not so Racing could negotiate.
Sometimes wonder why.
Why?
And honestly, I ask myself that a lot. I ask myself in my life, in my work. Why? When you take the right path, is it always the hardest one?
Is it always that the ones who are different have to go through this? I'm just asking out of ignorance.
Why is the wrong path the easiest one?
Don't come telling me stories about how you're the good girl and you're with the man and with peace because nobody believes you.
When it really should be the other way around, right? If on the path of truth, if you tell the truth, you enter a more difficult path.
What a reflection, Aristoteles.
Much more about appearances or signals.
Do whatever you want with the gentleman's agreements. Everyone knows how they behave in life, whether they go down that path or not. River didn't do it. Are there any precedents? Yes, but what do precedents have to do with this? And is it a pact that doesn't exist? So, no. And how...
For the precedents, did the Argentine Football Association legalize it now? Whoever gets caught now, the Argentine Football Association ends up legalizing it for the precedents?
This is the Macri thing. Why should I care about what he did behind the scenes?
If you are responsible
and you complain, stop. And here, if you want, we can get into it with Veron. River complains about business groups, and now they're about to negotiate something with a business group. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, if the group is actually a business group, they complain about the salt and are now involved in the Máger Carrizo situation. Come on, hypocrisy is the real mess. Of course, that's what Gallardo said, not me.
Es el primero
about breaking all the rules.
Romper todas las reglas. Do you believe Racing has never reached out to players from other teams to gauge their interest? How else would they attract new talent?
Eso no justifica nada. Guys, is he a soccer player? Let's not beat around the bush now if it benefits us. The show covers Milito's anger towards Gallardo for stealing a player from Racing, according to the headlines. It's great, but it's about how people act in their roles. The player who wants to leave is responsible. If the player says, I'm staying at Racing, then I'm staying at Racing. Soccer players are responsible for wanting to change teams. If that's not there...
Eso no hay duda. There's no doubt about that. What I'm saying is the actions of each person in their role, right? But there's no doubt about that.
No, pero eso no hay duda.
He is responsible.
Es su palabra.
Pero si no hay duda... If there's no doubt, let's end the talk. Here there's a rift among the journalists. Some are friendlier with one, and others dislike another more. They judge the situation about the soccer player. Excuse me, Milito.
Perdón, Milito. He said, I'm not going to execute the clause. I'm not saying this about you. Just to be clear, no.
Don't take it that way. Now, San
Lorenzo removed Breda, but we're discussing players with an agreement? Breda Brainer, San Lorenzo's captain, was offered more money than his clause by both Boca and River, as San Lorenzo demanded it. Then the clause. Is there a gentleman's agreement? Yes. Did he criticize Boca?
River is immune that.
It's true what Mauro says. If Boca does it, it seems like the devil does it. If River does it, it's like Heidi does it. He gave him a thread yesterday. You gave it to him, then the Taliban came out and gave it to him too. Is there media protection? And Mauro is right. Boca's actions are seen as evil, while River's are viewed innocently. When was Boca's wrongdoing? Turco? Yes, because Boca lacks a code of conduct. Well, you just said it. It's like what happened with Huracan, who took Diego Martinez and Alfaro away, but hired them. Because they thought it seems good for the project, but it's actually not. What Gallardo did is not right. For me, it's not right. However, Aracata was honest during the press conference, admitting that he also calls players. Let Mauro say it. Why is Milito upset with Gallardo?
Well, here we hear a lot of nonsense. First, the threats from the man, right? The threats from the man, right? Telling him, are you going to regret that the deals can be made the right way, with the truth or with lies? A guy who has been talking for years about expanding the Bombonera, is that the truth or a lie? On his show 2 weeks ago, a guy said Maxi Salas would transfer to River due to changing agents, with Hernan Berman becoming his new agent. What is that? The truth or a lie? Because it wasn't like that. People lie about Gustavo Lopez, who is a guy who... I'll tell you how it is on the radio. Those of us who are viewers, listeners of Radio La Red, we can also figure out what Gustavo Lopez is like, because he shows it all the time. He's a guy who... He cares more about money than anything else, because he's always saying, but did you buy this? But do they eat all this? They brought pastries, constantly discussing money. He's here, completely hurt, getting involved and finding trouble for himself. Salas wanted to earn more and come to River, but Terrason and River didn't care about his desire to join the team. We also heard a clip from Radio La Red saying that it's not talked about much because it's River, that if it was someone else, people would talk about it a lot. People are discussing River's outrageous actions with Maxi Salas for hours on shows, questioning their ethics and morals, as we showed you yesterday. River is investing a significant amount of money to acquire Maxi Salas, not just taking advantage of a bargain opportunity. Didn't they get Breda from San Lorenzo for $1,800,000? They're getting Maxi Salas for about 11 million with taxes and everything, 8 million euros clean. It really bothers me that the word hypocrisy is used when all the coaches call the players. I'm really bothered by the situation that River is going to be involved in today, because that's how it's going to be. River has people against them because of what they did, because they're hammering. To the people from racing, I understand Vasco, Gringo, Flavio Azzaro and Shero Torres Santoro. I understand racing fans, and my criticism isn't against them, they're simply racing fans. Is River taking away a star player from them? It's against the others, the ones who talk about money, about the other one who talk about hypocrisy, who talk about morals. When these are things that have always been done, and River isn't taking him for just a couple of bucks. River is investing heavily in Maxi Salas, and as I mentioned yesterday, I believe they're doing him a favor. They couldn't sell him for that much. Well, guys, honestly, this really bothers me, because you start seeing that they threaten you, journalists threaten you, the Argentine Football Association threatens you and tried to get involved. We're going to have a year that I think a semester and end of the year where we'll have to be more united than ever and more on guard than ever. Expect news about another signing by River this weekend or during the week. Hopefully they act swiftly with only around 10 days remaining before the tournament begins. I love you all very much. Thank you for your support. There are more than 170 of us. We're reaching 171,000 followers. We did it. More than 2 million views in June, which is impressive because River didn't do so well. Anyway, you guys were there this weekend. I'll be waiting for you on Sunday to do our stream together. Bye bye.